What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another NBA High Five video with your boy on this beautiful, what is it, Tuesday? Uh, Thank you for joining me. We got a nice little juicy 5 game slate on tap for us today. It is a small slate. It is a good slate. We do have some value available to us, as well as the GOAT, LeBron James, on the slate, who has been absolutely destroying this season. And his price dropped from what it was previously. Obviously, always keep an eye on him because at any moment, any of these Laker dudes could sit. But as of right now, actually, honestly, I have LeBron in, and he is the highest projected by far on this slate. So I'm not going to keep up too much of your time. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Now, first and foremost, on small slates, you want to go for especially when there's solid value available to you, which is what I'm going to get to in a minute. GreenlightDFS.com. Join the squad, by the way. If you don't have a PrizePicks account yet, you can if you create a PrizePicks account and you enter GreenLight in the promotional code, it will match $100 up to $100. 100% of $100, sorry. It'll match 100% of $100. So pretty much if you deposit $100, you're getting a free 100 if you use the code GreenLight. All right, when you enter that. So go ahead and go set up your PrizePicks account. I add my PrizePicks on the NBA Access page for all NBA members, as well as my NFL PrizePicks on the NFL Access page for members for that as well. So let's go ahead and get straight into this. So first and foremost, LeBron James, in my opinion, needs to be in there. I mean, it's a small slate, only 5 games. We have value on this slate, so I'm pretty much picking between the few spend up guys that I love the most on this slate, and this is going to be LeBron James and Sabonis. The Pacers are without their big dogs right now. They're missing some real key players on that offense, so many guys are going to be added as amazing value options. As long as Brogdon's out, Levert's out, that's a big part of their offense out. Sabonis is going to run this offense big time, and it's just a fantastic spot for Sabonis. And like I said, we have the value on the slate, which we're going to get to in a minute. That opens things up and makes it pretty easy to get whoever you think the top 2 scores on the slate are going to be. So absolutely love those spots for them. So LeBron James, dude's been playing like an MVP. Like, he has been absolutely balling. Now he gets an up-tempo matchup against Sacramento. Nobody on Sacramento can contain him. It's a fantastic spot here for LeBron. I absolutely love this spot here, man. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop another 70 plus on this one. All right. Now, for our values, let's go ahead and talk value. Wait, real quick before I go into value, I got to talk about Chris Paul. Look at him up here among the 9K, 8K guys at 7-4. He's really sticks out to me on this slate today. Going against New Orleans is a fantastic matchup. Chris Paul at only 7-4. Chris Paul does have 50-point upside at times, and 7-4 seems a little too cheap. So I wanted to mention him because I've been noticing him as I've been talking just now. He's really popping on my optimizer up to almost 40 projection at 7-4. So I really like Chris Paul, and if you want to get different and kind of balance your line and not take any of these amazing values, or maybe just sprinkle a couple of the values in, Chris Paul is one of those guys. If you're making a balanced line, that makes sense. A guy who's got crazy upside, but it's also kind of mid-range. All right, value time. Point per salary, baby. Kiefer Sykes is #1 on the value chart today. Absolutely love my boy Kiefer against the Knicks. This dude played solid minutes. He started and played 35 minutes in this last game with Brogdon and Levert out. I'm expecting the same thing once again, and at 3.5, he's pretty much locked. I have him projected over 24. Absolutely love Sykes as a value play on this slate today. All right. Next guy I'm going to go with, because they're missing so many guys, my next value is going to be Dwayne Washington Jr. Love him. He's still only 4K for a guy who's going to be playing heavy minutes, have high usage in this offense. All right. He played 30 and 34 minutes the last 2 games. Brogdon and Levert out, man. It's going to be a big deal here. So I really like Dwayne Washington Jr. He's only 4K. Fantastic spot for him. As you can see, Trey Jones is popping for me. Damian Jones is popping for me. I love both these values just as much as all these guys, all right? I do love these guys. I'm going to end it with RJ, by the way, and I'll talk about him in a second. But Trey Jones is a fantastic option. If he starts at point guard, once again, he's going to be a fantastic option at 3.8. I love him. You can consider maybe if Dwayne Washington Jr. is going to be super high chalk and you feel like he's going to be super high owned on a small slate like that, you can pivot straight to a Trey Jones, save a couple hundred, maybe a lower owned option if that's the case later on. So that's where you can kind of get different if you choose to do so. Damian Jones is in a solid spot here. They'll probably need Damian Jones's size down low against this big Lakers team. Damian Jones is decent at 4K. He's a solid value as well, as you can see. So my top value plays on this slate are Sykes, Trey Jones, Damian Jones, Dwayne Washington Jr., Devin Vassell, R.J. Barrett, Biombo, Obi Toppin. These guys are popping to me as solid point per salary options today. But R.J. Barrett, speaking of R.J. Barrett, no Julius Randle, no Kemba Walker. Like RJ Barrett is in a fantastic spot to just be this entire Knicks offense. And RJ Barrett is just a talented player in general. Okay, a couple games ago on December 31st, he got 36 minutes and dropped 41. He is a guy that most times in this situation, when you're missing the stars on the Knicks like this, he's a guy that I feel safe can drop you around that 30 range, which is why I have him almost 34, 33.9, pretty much 34 here for RJ. At 5'6", I mean, that's just value. You can raise him up, you can bump him up, round him up to 6K. He's still amazing value. You know what I mean? So I love RJ Barrett. He sticks out to me big time. And the big part here to make a big point here to also push is that obviously I love the Pacers on the other side. I love Sabonis and I love the value options on the Pacers side. So it makes sense to find who I would really love on that Knicks side, and that's RJ Barrett as my main go-to guy. As you can see, point per salary, the first Knick that pops up is RJ Barrett. The next is Obi Toppin, point per salary, and so on and so forth. You got Bryn Forbes, Emmanuel Quickly is popping pretty good for me. Miles McBride, if he gets the start, could be interesting as a value at 3-1. All those guys. So that's about it for the high five. LeBron James, R.J. Barrett, Sabonis, Kiefer Sykes, not sure how to say his name, and Dwayne Washington Jr. is the high five. Good luck, everybody. GreenlightDFS.com to join the squad. Remember, if you make your Prize Picks account today, Prize Picks, it has been fun. I have loved playing over on Prize Picks. As you guys know, I have recently partnered with Prize Picks. Enter the code GREENLIGHT. All right, and you will get a 100% match up to $100. So if you deposit $100, you're going to get $100 for the free. Green light, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me as always, and I'm out. Peace.